RedemptionX Roundtable. Welcome again, guys. I know it's been a while, and I'm sitting here with the gents, and we are going in deeper yet again.
Hey, good, man. How are you, X?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. It's
Good,
been a while since we actually sat and just shot that,
Shot the what?
Yeah, that. How you been, Kabza?
We're good, man. We're good. We're here.
We're here. 2025. It's been a tricky year, I think, for a lot of us, with all the things happening in the country and all the things happening in our lives. Whether it's political, whether it's social issues, but I think we're keeping strong.
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it. However, in keeping strong, it leads me to, what I want us to unpack these days.
Yeah.
That I'm seeing pop up everywhere. I don't know if you have the whole concept of co-parenting of it. Co-parenting. And I think you at home, whether I'm talking to you or someone you know, you need to listen to this. You need to understand how we are viewing it. And maybe, drop your own intake on some of these things. And then I'm talking about, someone who's decided, hey, we're not working out, but we still have kids. And then I'm still going to run my life. You're going to run your own life. But we've got this child to look after, and we need to make sure that they grow. And I think we've discussed this with one of our guests before to say, some of the challenges we face. But I want us to go a little deeper in some of the things we are seeing, especially on our social platforms.
Yeah.
What challenges have you seen around co-parenting out there? Anybody?
Now, it's difficult to say, right? Because some people will question, how can I love a child that's not mine? And because also you co-parent with the next person, right? When you get into a new relationship, that's also now a co-parenting situation.
Actually,
that needs to arise. And then also, how do you manage the other person either bad mouthing you and things of that nature? Those are things you have to consider, right?
True.
I think more than anything, most of the times when we speak of co-parenting, we hear the side of the women, and how the father is not coming to the party in supporting the child.
Are we hearing, or is it shouted at us?
Yeah, shouted.
No. It's something that is put out there that you're not doing anything for the child. But I read some on the social. Some lady was venting about that. Certainly the guy was on the social as well. The guy sent like a statement of how much I've sent you, how much I've sent you. I support my child, everything, and it broke like a social conversation whereby the guy was sending like 4,000 rand, right? Yeah. And then the lady, just because she's now lost her job, she's staying in an apartment, she says this money is not enough. And then the people were like, no, this is not your money, it's for the child.
Exactly.
You are even like you're getting 4,000. If you were to go to the courts, it might be less. So this guy is actually doing and overdoing because this is his child. So she took her problems
and made it his.
Yeah, because they demonize and villainize.
You know what I mean?
The guy, right? Because it's so.
But I think also, and I love that you introduced that. So I saw it. I mean, the guy even went to screenshot his bank statement on the Capitec
to show that
for this period. I think it was about 80-something thousand. Yeah. And I think that's the controversy here. Is it? Maybe let's unpack that. Is the money meant for the child, or the money meant for the mother? And I want you to bring in your point to say, now that she's working, what would justify the mother saying, I left 4,000 nami?
So she lost her job, by the way. Yeah. But the money is meant for the child. You know what I mean? So if we're saying, okay, we co-parenting, I bring my half, you should bring your half. True. And your half alone doesn't mean that if you say, okay, my half is taking care of the child, bathing and what, maybe I'll make it up in the money side, but at the end of the day, they get to do ridiculous things, take the child to most expensive school so that you're always drained out of money.
I saw a comment in that particular one where someone asked this lady, do you buy toys for your child every month?
Exactly. She'll mention all these ridiculous things. The money is meant for the child. I mean, guys, 4,000, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But I think co-parenting now seems like it's just a financial or a monetary situation.
Or it's a one-sided thing.
Yeah, where we can only co-parent if you give me X amount of money.
Well, it
Like-
can be seen as one-sided.
Yeah, but-
and here's the spanner in the works, using that scenario.
Yeah.
Someone asked, bring the child to me.
Yeah, and do you give
Would
me,
you pay me the
pay me
4,000?
4,000?
Yeah.
I mean, how do we feel about that as
While you
gents?
add it, go and get Sasa and add it on it.
No, but
You know what
I mean, it's almost only right?
Yeah.
Because you are figuring out your situation as the person who's unemployed, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm saying, let me take that off your hands.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Let your worry be yourself and how you're going to maneuver this time of trying to get a new job or whatever the case is. Like, and then your only responsibility is not necessarily you giving me money, but you stepping in at the points where I need you to step in with the child, right?
Yeah.
Because as much as you say the kid is in a private school, was it discussed? Did you first discuss it?
Yeah.
Because I think that's, if you're playing devil's advocate, that's the part that's missing.
Yeah.
Good point.
Because did we first speak about where the child is going to school? Or,
Who can afford it?
Or did I, as the co-parent, was I just lackadaisical and said, put the child in school, and I didn't follow up to say which school is the child going in?
Yeah. Yeah, you're adding a very interesting dynamic now.
Yeah.
Now we're going into who makes the decisions, yet the money is coming from
No,
where?
100.
But
But
you have to.
what you should understand, Gabs, is that, when you have two individuals that are working, I think from the left side, she will say, I don't have to tell you I'll tell you where the child goes to school, but you don't have to take that decision because I'm using my money.
No,
You know what I mean?
No, but you can't just say that because it's our child. It has to be spoken about and agreed to.
I think that's where it comes as taking it from. There's two sides to it, and I agree with both of you. I think from where do you want the child to go to school?
Yes.
Should be both parents' decision. I
Right.
think that's where you're coming
Exactly.
from. And then you may be coming from who's paying can decide.
Yeah.
Or can it be a challenge?
It's going to be a challenge because at the end of the day, if I want my child to go to, what's this, expensive
Crawford.
schools? Yeah, those, you know what I mean? And I'm the dad, I'm like, but I'm not going to afford to pay for that school fees. And then you as a lady say, no, but who asked you about any man? I'm just letting you know. There's a level of arrogance that goes with it. And remember, women or men can be spiteful.
True.
For one another, you know what I mean?
So
the whole thing where
the healthy conversation.
it's not healthy anymore because we didn't speak about this thing.
And
Which
it
is
can
why-
turn competitive too.
No,
because
not
it
even-
depends
it
who's
becomes-
bringing in the
It
money.
becomes competitive because now then and that's where the child also you also add the child to, you give the child a manipulative edge in a sense because then the child knows who they can get away with, what they can get away with,
Very, very true.
and put things in the mix where it's like dad took me to Kai.
And it takes us back to a very interesting point again, the manipulation of a child, the upbringing of the child, South Africa, and the world at large. Yeah. We need to be very careful that these things, as much as we are discussing co-parenting and who can do what, ultimately the child will feed off of that energy.
You know, I think both parents get to have that sigh of relief when the child can make their own decisions.
Yeah,
you know
when they reach that age.
Yeah, and you know what? It can be spiteful. This is what I'm talking about being spiteful. I was listening to Uncle T on KFM. So he's got this segment whereby say, "What's my blind spot?" You know.
Yo.
So this gentleman is getting married, right? And the ex-wife, doesn't want the kids to come to the wedding. That's how spiteful. Said, no, we've got a birthday celebration that we need to attend. You know what I mean? So this guy was like, you know what, guys, I think I'll go a legal route because the person that I'm marrying, she's bringing her kids, and I wanted my kids to be here as well. So because
it's a new union.
Yeah, it's a new union, you know. So this one, because she got divorced or they didn't get married to, you know what, that's being spiteful. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying. The kid picks up on that.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, you can't think that the kid doesn't pick up on these things, right?
Yeah.
Because also they pick up and then they say something is off.
Yes.
And then they also will capitalize on it. Because also a kid, man, like they want what they want.
And sometimes, you know, as kids, if maybe you are the woman, you're shielding the kid from the father, there's gonna come a point whereby the kid is saying, what's that? Baba. And then the kid will go behind your back to find out where is he.
But also you are shit talking the dad, you know what I mean? Then it becomes another thing because then the kid goes and finds out that the dad didn't even know sometimes the kid existed, or there's these other elements where.
Yeah, you're touching on other
No,
things.
but you must think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Because then the kid now must learn. Now, unfortunately, the father is placed in the tough position to make the mother a bad person by telling the truth. By saying your mother's the one that was keeping us from spending time together because of APC.
I mean, how many kids out there whereby they ask their mothers, and then the mother would So I think this thing needs like emotional intelligence whereby as a woman or as a man, you can be able to separate the personal relationships that you had with this person and allow the child to have a relationship with the other parent.
True. It takes us to that word again today that we're discussing. Parenting. Co-parenting. Because ultimately, we need to parent this child, not compete or fight over. Or I'm doing this, your father's not doing that, or your mother's not doing that.
And I think, the previous generation before us, they had a way of, working around that. True. But with us, what I've noticed is it's all about egos, it's all about pride, it's all about who can bring what, it's all about all those ridiculous things. So at the end of the day, I think we need to think about the child.
Yeah.
Often say that, kids who grow up without dads, you know the behavior, you've seen it. I mean, I was speaking to one of my friends in one of the, he was saying, the reason why there's so much gang violence, maybe in where there are gangs, be it the colored community or the black community, is because the leader usually becomes a father to these boys who are in gangs, father figure. So they're seeking that. So if that has been occupied, do you think they'll be in that space?
No. Very, very powerful point there, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking about the psychological dynamics of how they grow up, who they see as an example in the community, a father figure that stands and says good, right, wrong, and so forth.
And how they're being taught, right? And how you're portraying the father is very...
And this all stems from just being able to co-parent healthily.
Yeah.
And, when we touch on the money thing, again, like you say, these days it's about competing about the money. But what I found very tricky and very concerning also on our socials lately is this story of we are now separated. We've got kids or not. And now you're telling me about something called spousal support. Hey! Hi! So, what's your take on spousal support, James?
Spousal support is the thing. It's a thing. It's out
the
there.
Thing now.
It's the thing. We cannot.
Not even like the thing, but it's like, think about it. If I made you, or when we were dating, whatever, you stopped working, and it was agreed upon the both of us, is it not fair?
Ooh. Hey, Cubs was taking another angle to this.
No, but think about it. Is it not fair?
So you systematically just structured it.
Yeah, like,
to say,
think about
me and my partner decided one of us stops working. In this case, being her.
Exactly.
And my partner married to, and then we somehow, by unfortunate circumstances, divorce.
Yes.
And then in that case, she would now claim spousal support, keeping in mind the time she sat at home and I worked.
Exactly.
So I would owe her for her deciding not to work.
Not only
it's not owing. I don't think necessarily it's owing, right?
Yeah.
But it's a thing of...
What is it then?
It
feels like it.
You can't say that because it's an account that you're paying off.
Well, it's starting to feel like...
No, but when you put it like that...
Maybe that's the convo. Maybe that's the convo. Maybe that's the convo we should be having.
No,
what is the purpose of spousal support? To carry you through over to a certain part of stage in life.
But think about it. If you have a wife, right, who you guys have been together for, let's say, 10 plus years.
Yeah.
She's your dependent, I think.
Right? No, seriously, she is dependent.
Yeah.
So at 10 plus, you know that there's ageism going on in these jobs and all of these things, right? Unless now you're saying that she must not just suddenly learn to be an entrepreneur. It's tough to just start a second cycle of life.
And I think,
in that manner.
And I think another thing, what you need to understand, obviously we're speaking of people who were married here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course, legally.
Out
Yes,
there,
that's where you get it from.
like I think we need to
Asibakuze.
yeah,
Asikhulumi ngomahlalisane.
ngomjolo or mahlalisane.
Yes.
Yeah, it's people who were married here. It makes sense. I mean, we've seen it with the Baby Molloys, you know, the men coming for
spousal
support. You know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not only from the women's side, even on the men's side can happen. You know what I mean? So it's a thing.
Do you know where it gets tricky though, right? Is there's the actress lady, right? Where the guy got the spousal support, but now he wants her retirement money.
Oh, I saw that. Was it the one in the States or
Correct.
Where, she paid for everything.
She
and
got
somehow,
so he was he
and
was
somehow
given the
he now
spousal.
realized there's some retirement and
So
funds.
he was given the spousal support, and then it's like, that's when it goes too far now. When
it cannot go too far. Because remember, when you married, they should come for your thing. Yeah, it's a thing.
But when you get
married and then divorce, that's included there.
Again, it depends if there was a prenup.
But that's why they had the spousal support thing, and they that was allocated for. This girl was an actress before she met this guy. It's not like she met this guy, became an actress, and then became super successful. This person's been acting since 2 years old. Now you're saying that you're entitled to my money from when I was 2 years old.
We're married. What's yours is mine.
No, we are divorced.
I guess it's
exactly when you divorce,
contractual dependent.
No, exactly.
No,
but when you
divorced.
married or married in common of property, when you divorce, you should share whatever, even if your pensions, whatever, you share.
You're reminding me of
you share.
The judge said, here's your spousal. Now you're coming for the retirement.
What did the judge say with the retirement?
No, they are now doing the trial for that, but it's not.
Yeah,
I don't.
After he has spent it all.
No, but also
no, he hasn't. It's chilling there. So the fact that they're going on trial, which means there's a possibility that.
But you must remember that this guy already, if you look at the amount that he's got, it's almost close to $500,000. Like that's a lot of money already,
but it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
No, but
so basically, if I may come in, gents, basically we are taking. I'm triggered to remember a very powerful movie called "Why Did I Get Married," where Miss Janet Jackson is the successful writer, and then the husband, throughout this divorce proceedings, decides, okay, now I want also, besides what we're splitting, your book sales.
But pause. Don't do that to that man.
Why?
Because he's a successful architect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like he didn't have a job.
Okay. So he did have a job, but there was a contribution issue. If you remember their discussion around when Janet says, but I put in the work, I bought A, B, C, D. Which is another dynamic altogether.
Yeah, but I was supporting you emotionally. coming back from home.
Also,
but that's a tricky one to equate to money as well.
No. It's not, because I was your muse. Remember that. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that part. Hey.
I was your muse to these works that you created.
So let's translate
some of the ideas would bounce them off me, and then I was like, I think it's.
I can see that I'm the reason you're doing some of these things.
So let's translate it to everyday South African life. Let's bring it here.
Yeah.
Here I am deciding I'm gonna be a piano artist, baba. Ziyakhala ke manje. You know, ngizobuya ngosingisi type style. And I have a partner who is my muse, who inspires me to make an amazing song.
Yeah.
Would they be entitled to my royalties, masters, and any money?
But it still depends.
In this, are you married?
Yeah.
Yes, let's put the scenario.
No, because all of this is always dependent. We're talking from a married point of view.
If they are and they in community of
property.
we share those masters.
And the justification here is that I was your muse.
Doesn't change.
It gets trickier.
No, the thing is, you see, it becomes tricky when you were my muse for a particular thing.
Yes.
It might not be for everything.
A lifelong thing.
Yeah, because also don't take the word muse and as if it's like this trigger word where it's you inspired me for all of these things, right? Sometimes the muse is just the person that is rubbing your shoulders after a long day and being your partner, your confidant and all of that. So now it's like, must I pay you for having been my partner? And
I think maybe that's where the line I need to, and many other people who think like that, which then brings us to that point where I asked Jimmy earlier, how do we now monetize that? How do we equate to how much it should be? Which is where I say it gets a bit tricky. what if my sales were not that big? You're going to take everything, half of everything?
No,
Is it sales dependent?
It should be half.
I think it should be more than should be half. It should be fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
I don't think it should
That's
be
the
half
word.
because sometimes half might not be fair. It should be fair, right? And
How is half not fair?
half of what? Now this person is going to, if you were successful before her, she can't get half of before you.
I think Kamsa is on that. Since I was two,
but that's-
No, but think about it.
But that's what I'm-
think about
but
it.
that's
If
what
I
I'm-
was successful before you,
Yeah.
you can't get half of that successful before you.
But this is going to take us back to that contractual agreement we spoke about.
That's
to
what I'm
say,
saying.
What does your marriage contract say? If there's a prenup, which the structure is, what we did together, we did together.
Let me make an
then
example.
exclude it.
Wait, let me example. The Bedouin and Tony Braxton situation.
Woo!
2 weeks in.
2 weeks after 18 years of dating.
What did she get out of that man? Did it matter that he started with young money alone doing his thing?
I think you touched the nerve there with Kamsa.
No, the thing is, I'm glad you used that because now they're back together. So
Oh yeah, it's a tricky one.
it's tricky, right?
But the fact that it got to that point.
But that's because I think she also realized they're not gonna give me.
But let's say let's put a
Let
hypothetical.
me pause.
Let's put a hypothetical. Let's say it continued. How would you now, in what you're saying, equate or measure or monetize 2 weeks, excluding the 18 or 17 years of dating?
But you can't exclude.
But because
I think in that case you can't exclude.
when did the contract become in
No,
effect?
but now, as I'm sure we're talking in a situation whereby he did something before
Yeah.
even her. You know what I mean?
Yes. So that money she was about to get was related to premarital agreements.
No, it
Would
couldn't-
she be justified to take, let's say, $600 million of Birdman?
Yeah, but I mean, I think now we're getting to the technicalities, and we have to be specific.
That's what the contract is for.
We can't be generalizing, right? Because if I was with you for 20 years, be honest, your most successful thing was within the 20 years of us being
But we're not
together,
married.
right?
You were not entitled to anything of mine.
I think we're going to that contract piece.
Piece
Because
of-
I support your point. If we're married, we're married. Okay?
It doesn't
now,
matter
if the
you've got
marriage
no
was
money.
2 weeks out of 20 years.
Then you're speaking to the ignorance of Birdman not signing a prenup.
There we go.
More than
Contractually.
anything.
Yeah.
So let's not even make it seem like contractually whatever.
So
If
we still need
if the
the law.
guy, if the guy himself didn't find a prenup as necessary in the thing, can you honestly say, like, you didn't find it necessary?
Yeah.
You didn't find, like, that's your fault.
That's your fault.
Yeah, like it's
But you know, when
how would you not, like, aside from you, it's not even saying that you think this person is capable of doing such a thing.
Yeah.
It's just a thing to be there.
You see, so you'd agree when I say sometimes we get blinded by the love.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you should, in a sense, be. But if no one around you also is saying, Antoine, come on.
Don't you think Lil Wayne was like?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Lil Wayne is the guy to give you that advice. Nothing about Lil Wayne that
you're
says
taking a
you're going
shot
to get
there.
good
You're not
advice.
supposed to say young money.
Yeah.
Amil's gonna go.
Who has Lil Wayne married?
No one.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
why would that
fair
be?
point.
Why would that be your go-to
Fair point.
reference?
Fair
be
point.
like-
And how are we feeling about the men that are now asking for spousal support?
I don't
and I think I'm just asking it from a guy's
No,
point
but
of
I
view.
think even that question is tough.
We do have
You
our
shouldn't even
famous
be-
lady.
You shouldn't even be asking that. It should just be a thing where whether guy or girl should just be
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
Right? And I think now maybe we're seeing the rise of guys because now there's no stigma around it.
Yeah.
Good point.
There's no stigma around it.
There's no you're a weak man, which
Yeah.
is still being
Listen,
said.
it's fine. Call me weak when I have the money in the bank. It's fine.
As long as you got your loot. You
No,
sorted.
but the thing is, nothing should apply to men and it shouldn't apply to women. Why?
Yes.
Okay.
Why should
Yes.
it be like that?
Yes.
If women can want spousal support, why can men do?
Yes, why can't they?
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
No, fair. No, fair.
We'd like to hear your thoughts on that one. How do you feel about us as guys asking for spousal support? And again, this obviously means we've gone through the same journey. I sat at home, I decided not to work, looked after the babies,
No,
and we
don't
separate.
even say I decided. Say we.
We. Okay.
You know, because
Yeah.
it was a decision that was done by two people.
Yeah.
Because the minute you say I, then they can say, "I'm it's your fault because you wanted to not work."
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Do we feel that maybe it should be mentioned contractually, as some of these stories are popping up these days, where people are saying, I want a contract. There's a recent lady, I think, with this couple with the Shoba surname, where it's mentioned that this lady is now asking for spousal support from this gentleman. And it's something they talked about, but it's now causing a lot of controversy and a couple of luxury cars.
I think most of the times it's difficult to. No man will want to pay spousal support to someone who's already involved with someone
else.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but spousal support.
But if it's contractual,
no. But spousal support does have a stipulation. If I'm not like
mistaken.
Yeah, mistaken. Like it does have a period. It's not a forever thing.
Yeah, yeah. It does. It does have
an end point. It's not. So let's also. I think sometimes people forget that.
Much like taking care of a child, maintenance, and so forth.
There is an end point inside, but I think we are now. Before, and you keep saying the contract thing. I think it should just be a thing of when we're discussing dating and all of that should be part of that conversation.
Yeah.
Because
I think I think we're moving into a space whereby the community of property, now things are gonna be stipulated.
Yeah.
In effect, that our house, my car, your car, my sofa, my bed on that room. So should anything happen, we know who's taking what. You know what? Okay, when we divorce, let's not take our pension monies. Let's leave it there and share what we have in our bank accounts. It's going that direction because there are people who are becoming smart about it.
Yeah. It's turning into a life scam.
A life scam, exactly, between men and women. So if ever those little elements are put out there, I think you will see less and less people getting married. Because some of them, they go with an intention. Maybe I'm getting me into this, to this.
And it's something we discussed in a previous, segment with one of our guests, Mr. Rick, where, that question of, are we marrying for love or are we marrying for survival? It takes us back to that again, to say, what was the reason you guys got together?
Yeah.
And Jimmy is putting it beautifully out there to say, perhaps we should get to that contractual agreement pre-signing where we decide, this is mine, this is yours. And yes, prenups work like that, but it should get to the finer details.
When we're together, it's ours, but should you separate? You've got your things, I've got mine. Let's walk our separate ways.
It will stop a lot of what we're reading because honestly, guys, if I look at it personally, I'm just deterred from even thinking of taking it further. With what we are seeing, even our own kids are like, is this what marriage is like?
Yeah.
With the things they're reading. So from a society point of view, it could fix a lot of ills. It could condition the next generation to be better.
Yeah.
And make wiser decisions. Even in matters of the heart, the mind still needs to function.
It's tricky though, bro.
Yeah.
Think about it, though. It's tricky, but because I don't think that's going to happen with the next generation.
Yeah, no, it's not.
That's the giant.
Because I'm at 2K.
The fixation is so monetary and
it's both. It's both males and females.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like an extravagance and opulence and all of this.
It's about the life.
Yeah.
The bag.
Yeah, so I don't think it's gonna hit to a healthy place because if your role model is your Kim Kardashians and whatever,
your Jimmy J's, So, but I think I'm kidding.
I love it.
I think the most successful marriages are the ones whereby people get together and build together. Usually, it doesn't really work when X is a millionaire and gets Miriam Walapa a deep salute.
Wow.
You
know they're going to come after you. Deep salute, we love you.
No, we don't. So you know what?
But I totally get you. Just hypothetically.
You get X and then get nje Ntabiseng, is moneyed.
Moneyed.
You know what?
Like
which I'm saying filthy, and then uthandile things like angageza ube umuntu aphuma uqala ubheda nje
No, but X needs to also take it upon himself. If he's the millionaire or whatever the case is, he needs to take it upon himself to really find out what this person is about.
True.
No, but sometimes he finds out and you can see that she's got good intentions.
Yeah.
But remember, once
along the way,
once you are in the space, you start hearing voices of saying, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You know, you're in the space where...
Then I would argue and say then you didn't do your due diligence, because I think there's more to a person than just that short period of time. You need to learn this person.
But I think when you take all of that, you know, this summation that you gave, it's beautiful because ultimately, as we are discussing the co-parenting story, even if things go wrong, you still had the maturity, the wisdom to be able to have kids, go your separate ways healthily, and know what you've put together on paper, then nothing becomes toxic or even violent or whatever it's getting to
anything
these
negative.
days.
Anything negative.
It takes that wise approach that you're speaking about.
And I think people in general should just stay away from social media, because most of the things that are happening in real life is scenarios or driven, you know.
Driven by social media.
Social media is going to be the death of us, honestly.
And guys, let's be careful. Not everything is real. There's AI. It's 2025. There's AI. Not everything you read is real.
So I'll make an example. I saw a post. This lady married this gentleman. He's fairly seasoned, old in a way.
Yeah.
And then there was
How is he old in a way?
Fairly seasoned.
He's old. You know, you can see.
No, but he said old in a way.
Okay, let's reverse this.
Old Nyana.
So the funny part is, there was a comment there saying, if you can give this man 2 scones without a juice, you're good. So what does that mean? So you see the type of...
Collect the life insurance.
Collect the life, you know, take everything. Which means he's going to choke and die. Exactly.
Just over the edge, Baba. And then accept the million. Oh, wow. You know, like, wow.
So there's a lot of
I don't need to laugh at this, but that's the realities we're facing.
There's a lot of rosemary's.
Listen, we all want to get rich quick type. I think that's what the perception is, and that's what the social medias are giving us. Is get rich quick, do what you can. I think we're applying the hustlers mentality to the wrong things.
And that's why we can't even parent or even co-parent healthily these days. Like we're taking it back to earlier when we said it starts becoming a competition now. You know, someone, like you said, I meet this powerful person, or I'm the powerful person, we separate. All of a sudden, I'm going to flex my financial muscle because now I want the child to know who was better. Which becomes toxic for co-parenting.
No, but I mean, look, like you said, man, like when you brought up that why did I get married? Remember that tough guy with the wife, the baby mama's talking to the kids bad about the new wife. And all of these things. You know, there are those challenges that you have to go through and get across. So you need to get through these things healthily. So if we're not conversing, also you as a person need to know what you're doing with the person that you're doing it with. Right?
I think when people speak bad about someone, it's only to make themselves feel better, you know.
True.
Yes, but also there's you know envy. There's a level of envy. There's a level
I wish I was.
The thing, and another thing is that you know, I think either guys or ladies, they just get frustrated sometimes of not being able. There are things that you cannot control. You know, if someone decides that, you know what, I don't want to be with you,
I don't love you anymore. It's perfectly okay.
I've seen ukabel nemoto, uyangilanda, and it's beyond your control.
And withholding a child or punishing a child because of that,
exactly,
or poisoning the child against me.
It can get worse.
You see what I'm saying?
Like sometimes it's not that maybe you don't have those things. You are just not the person for those things. You know, you've got everything, but you're not.
You're not that
see where
type.
See where you're going. I like it. Because now, what are you going to tell me? No, think about it.
You're triggered him.
No, think about it.
I love it.
Did you see what happened now with Sierra?
Is
that her son she has with Future is now taking the stepdad's son.
So,
Why is that? Why is that?
I don't want to.
No, you can't say you don't want to, Mr. Host.
I think for me, when let's remove the Sierra thing. It's happening even in our local, environment in South Africa.
But
it may be driven. There could be two possible reasons. Could be driven by the mother, to spite the actual father. It could be because the child feels more fathered by the new father. There's many dynamics at play here that can influence whether good dynamics or bad dynamics to get to that decision.
But with us,
it just means that
with us
doing the right
with
thing.
us,
doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing. Like I said, could be the mother who's driving it to spite the biological father.
When the child is more comfortable, like when we see these pictures, you see the child with this guy who's not their father. Like you've never seen a picture of this kid and his real father.
But it takes us to that part then. We shouldn't assume because they look comfortable publicly that the mother didn't have anything to do with it to prevent the child from having a comfortable relationship with the biological father.
Yeah, you can say that, but when a person has a history of abandoning their kids in a sense and not being that type of a father, what do you expect the mom to do?
Do you think
the mom is not necessarily bad mouthing the father, but the mom is like, I'm not gonna bad mouth your father, but look at who you're with now and appreciate that more because this person is the one that's teaching you life.
But tell me, do you think
how to be a man?
Do you think there was a discussion there that was made between?
That's basically what I'm saying.
I think there was a discussion. I would say that I think there was, but because this nigga doesn't care.
But I don't think the nigga doesn't care per se. But what I can
think
say
when
is
you have as many kids as he has,
who's got more between Nick Cannon and?
Nah, Nick has more.
10
plus. 10 plus.
So what I was saying is that, with us this side, it becomes a bit of a tricky situation because of the culture
piece,
involved,
ancestral.
I mean, ancestral.
But
when
when the new father is stepping up, you have to applaud that. And
but when we started going into surname territory, like you say, it's very tricky in a South African dynamic.
Yes, no, of course, culturally we have different things, right? But if that person is stepping up, and doing what they need to do,
no, there's nothing wrong with that. Stepfathers can step up, be an amazing example to the child.
You can get to a point where culturally you can navigate that.
No, you can. You're telling it's wrong, but that means it's a whole process of ulobola ubabwengani, and that is deep.
No, it is, but I feel like when a person, you need to give the person the opportunity to do that, right? If
nothing wrong.
There's people that are willing to do that.
Yeah.
And I think because the cases of that is so rare, it seems like a big thing.
Yeah.
When it's really not.
Do you think our generation will understand all these dynamics? And
I don't think they want to.
So they just go with it?
Yeah, I don't think they want to. I think it's very much surface.
And it's quite important for them to understand it because...
Let's not generalize, but it's very surface level stuff. Like there's no real relationships happening because...
my fear with this new generation and, it's like we're the last of our generation that's gonna know how to do things traditionally, because the new generation, diluted. I think they're just living in the moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't care.
They're living in a global society.
But you can't say that, right? Because you as the parent are also responsible for that.
Yeah. To a certain extent.
No, but you can be responsible, but it's
listen to what I'm saying. My point being is that you did what you needed to do, right? To put your kid in the private school, in the this, in the that. Because you're like, I want better
and
for
you
my
maybe
child.
co-parented well
You said,
as well.
I wanted better for my child, right? The problem is wanting better is people forget to balance the... So I can't even blame the kids to be like, they don't know isinto and culture and all of this because also me, I'm not navigating them through that.
Yeah.
I said, you can go play with Johnny, guy, and then, we go to bounce.
Dad's car, bro.
We go to bounce, we do these things. That's also the parents' responsibility.
True.
Yeah, right?
but if we link it to, the mentality that we kicked off on, we are seeing higher divorce rates. We are seeing less involvement in kind of like self-development, culture understanding, and investing in knowledge about prenups, which now takes us to how are we even going to co-parent healthily?
Co-parenting, it just needs the two grown-ups to be matured.
Yes.
Stop being childish out there.
Yeah.
This is not about you, it's about the child. I think they need to be matured. You need to get to a point whereby you separate your feelings or what you did to each other, and then just focus on the child.
And you know why? I love you saying that, because that goes back to what Kabza saying with the new generation and what you are asking. Will they be matured enough with the chasing of the bag to not compete as co-parents?
Like, you don't want a child that can I go to a date?
Yeah. There's certain wording and phrasings where we put down the parent.
The next parent.
The next parent,
This is the EQ. This is the emotional intelligence that's needed.
Yeah.
But also, it's a culture that we have as people of color,
It's the new culture.
Yeah.
Because if I take back what Jimmy said,
No.
Our previous generations managed to co-parent healthily.
I'm going to push back on that. Because remember the conversation we had even with Abuti Olive, where even he said, your aunties are talking shit about Usman Ban. You can't say that it wasn't happening. It's been happening.
It's just that it wasn't on socials.
It's a cultural thing that's been happening. In your family, think about it. They know who the useless is.
Maybe me, I don't know.
No, but that's
I get you.
You know what I mean?
I get you. I totally
that's the
get
tag
you.
where useless. Like.
And not even, sometimes you don't even know the dynamics of what's causing that mentality.
But those people are saying this person is useless.
Great spot on that.
And then are now creating that generation of, this is how we talk about a person. Yeah. So it now is desensitized, right?
Yeah.
To the point where you don't even know why they're saying Lomuntu useless, but you're calling them useless.
But you're calling
them.
Useless.
Yes.
You are trying your best to co-parent.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so,
gentlemen, wow. We could go on all day because there are
so
many facets and so many dynamics to this topic that we've just only touched the surface. Co-parenting is never easy. And I will put that out there from a RedemptionX point of view. It takes, in the words of Jimmy, maturity and sitting down and understanding what needs to be done together.
100.
Because ultimately, it's still about the child. And once you put that as your priority, a lot of other things don't become easy, but manageable. And you can do it in a healthy way.
Yep.
Gents, Kabza, Jimmy, another great time. Another challenging convo. I always love these views. And I want you guys to share your views at home with us. Remember to like, remember to share, but most importantly, subscribe to RedemptionX under Olive Branch Entertainment, guys. We love you. We appreciate your support, and we're going to keep giving you more. Have a great week ahead.